Hey guys, Paragon here. You might know me from r/Venture Mains. I post a lot there. I'm super active, all about Venture. I love Venture. All my stats are messed up here, but 438 hours. I've pretty much only played Venture since they're released. Um, no one else gets the itch that Venture does. Sombra did for a long time, but then they gutted her, so she's okay, I guess. Um, I've been bouncing between M2, GM5 this season. Like I said, all my stats are messed up. I swapped from console to PC at the start of this season. So um, I just like to say before we get started with what you're here for that the way I want to do these, I eventually want to do every map, but I want to start with one that is typically very requested. But I want to kind of give myself a VOD review while also talking about how I would go about the map, because it helps me look at how I could be playing better, but it also helps you look at how I'm actually playing as a higher elo. Not that I'm super high, but high enough to where your metal ranks, your diamond, you can look at this and be like, okay, I'm learning things, even maybe low masters. I will be talking about some things that maybe could be foreign to like lower elo, like bronze, silver. But if you've been playing the game for a while, what I talk about should make sense. So let's get started.
Ready for battle.
I actually got quite lucky here with my team and their team. They're gonna go poke first point here, whereas we are going full dive. I've got a ball, Genji, me. I think I had like a Wu Yang Kiri, maybe. So looking at first point here, there's a lot of place for Venture to play, but there's also not much for Venture to play at the same time. This room can be really good, poking from like here, depending on what's going on. It's a good place to engage from. I wouldn't necessarily stay here. Um, Playing around this room is kind of risky, but I also enjoy playing here. Mainly, I will start up here. That way, I can kind of poke at them from right here, and you don't have to hard commit to an angle like you would down here or over here. Especially, like if they're cast, boom, 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 hinder, and you just fed your brains out, right? Even starting back here. But coming up here is nice because it lets you poke, and you don't have to hard commit, like I said.
Four,
I can dig
three,
that. I can dig that.
2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Sig, Widow, Soldier, Kiri, Lifeweaver. I always like to look at their comp first thing, because it lets you know how you should be playing. We engage on Soldier right there, because it's... Go back. Their tank's facing this way, so me and Ball were like, okay, we can do stuff here. When you're engaging from up here, like, I thought about going down on Widow here. I thought about engaging on Widow here and killing her, but I'm like, I know what Ball's about to do, so. When you get later in this point, like here area, like I pretty much exclusively play up here and in their backline right here. Once they push up this far, it's very difficult to, what's the word? Kind of get away with things because it's so open. Like right here, it's so open, but you can kind of cherry pick when you engage. Playing down here is good too. I might do some of that. Kind of forgot how I played this game. And then they start backing up, so naturally I'd go behind them here, but I missed those shots and I was like, I'm just gonna stay back here. And then I come back up here. Coming up to this high ground specifically is so useful. I like coming up to this high ground, rotating down here, and grabbing this mini. All the time. It's such a nice rotation that keeps you up, especially next season when you get 150 HP from minis. That's going to be huge. Yeah, just poking from this room. Poking from this room is huge. Yeah. Playing in these spaces, you never want to be down main. When you're down main, you just die. You just die. You die every time. And if you are down main, you want to position on that in front of the cars, like I did right there. Rotating around where these minis are is always useful. Going behind. Yeah, playing on the high ground. The two high grounds. This one and this one are like the only reason Venture is playable. Like, you have to use these. You absolutely have to use these. If you don't, you just want to run around. Like, you never want to really sit up here, and you never really want to sit down here. You want to just kind of always be moving, which obviously, but you want to be rotating just constantly in these backlines without ever fully hard committing until your tank's in there or something starts happening. When you're playing neutral fights like this, you never want to be fully. I like breaking pedal just because. Finding isolated targets is very easy to do on Havana, depending on the comp they're playing. Like I said, I got pretty lucky with our team comps here. Dive into poke is nice. Not many people like playing poke on this map, but you can see. I can kind of just wait on this high ground for something to happen. I see my ball on Weaver, and I'm like, okay. Like I said, rotating this area is so good. Just always want to be in this area. I play up here so much. And I jump off. Notice I jump off after mines. You never really want to be off of it unless something's happening. I thought I was being smart here by baiting carry TP, but then I just So as we go into second point here, let's just take a look at it. Okay. This point, unlike second or third and first, second point is really good for Venture. It's actually exceptional. Maybe one of the best points in the whole game for Venture, in my opinion. This room up here is really good for just dropping down on people and just one-shotting them. It's very fun, very easy. You can drill dash up on top of these. Genji's up here. You can drill dash over them, and it saves you so much time. Being able to go, since people like playing poke characters on this map, I mean, look at their comp, Sig Torb. If I'm up here poking at them, I can just leave very easily and get behind all this cover. Also, down here, this is a great flank route. If you're on attack or defense, I'm defending here. So, and they're playing, you're usually, depending on what's going to happen, in higher elo, people usually take this bridge. Depending on your rank, people might be barreling down main. And this is a really good flank route because it's, with deep burrow, you can go pretty much across the whole thing in one drill dash. And then that pops you out right here, and you're behind them. You can pop up right here, take this. There's a lot of things you can do because this high ground's kind of low. High enough, but not super high, to where you can burrow up here on top of burrowing and instantly drill dashing and one-shotting. See, if I was right here, I could push both these people off this high ground, and they'd be an LOS of my Wu Yang and... Who are you? Anna? And my ball's there. Like, there's a lot you can do in this point. Oh, and this mega is super useful. Playing on this side of point is really nice because you can go up to the high ground and poke on people down here, and you can also rotate down here and poke from people all right here. The only thing that sucks is sometimes if they're diving too, it kind of just becomes like a mosh podge of stuff happening. And when Venture gets out tempoed, they get out tempoed really bad because Venture, once Venture doesn't have any more cooldowns, Venture doesn't have any more cooldowns, and then they just die. So. What am I doing? Yeah, playing in this room is good too. There's the mini right there, and you can engage. I pushed both of them off height there, right? So that lets my team take so much space. Pushing the people off these high grounds is really good.
Hey there.
Like I said, playing this side.
Oh, better.
You can just, if you rotate around the enemy team, there's a lot of places for you to be around the enemy team. Being in the enemy team on Havana isn't that good. It's not as good as it is on like off, where you can kind of just jump in their face. Let me check game audio, make sure I'm not. Make sure I'm not. Oh yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, like I said, coming up here is really good. Me and Genji are waiting. I would like the flanking up here.
Fire wasn't right for me.
This is a really good spot because the door right there often gets a lot of... Since you can come down here, you can poke into that door and just do so much. People like pushing in that door because it's right out of spawn, and it's like, it's just go forward, hold W, no brain. Sometimes people will like rotate around, but most of the time holding this room after you kill their team is really good, like I said, because you can drop down and kill people on the payload. You can poke right there, you can come around here. There's a lot of places you can do by playing up in that room right there. A lot of places too.
You love to see it.
Team kill.
Said team kill, and then I'm right back up here. Playing up here is perfect. It's a very good place to play. I see they're on Roadhog, and I'm like, well, there goes my fun. Don't get to play anymore. I'm thinking about ulting off. Like I said, that door again, just a good place to be. Let me see. Yeah, we kind of roll them here for a little bit because we're playing dive, and this room into this comp is like, it's not fair. But they ult stack us and they get rolled onto the floor.
30 seconds.
I try to live really hard, but it doesn't work. I'm just gonna work my way to So fighting right here, you're able to rotate depending. I like to take deep burrow on this map. Obviously, perks. Extender, always. Covered in Dirt is probably the worst perk in the... One of the worst perks in the entire game. I don't want to come out and say that it's the worst. But it's bottom 5. Probably bottom 3. There's not... Like, I can't actively think of a perk that is more garbage than Covered in Dirt. If you take Covered in Dirt, you're a trooper. Because it's not it. But Deep Burrow and Exhilaration can kind of be used interchangeably. Exhilaration's nice, but I wouldn't take it here. Never in a million years would I take that alt here. It's so easy to like look at all these high grounds, and it's so open. It like shock is so buns. Um, but playing in this spot when the payload's like right there, you can rotate around these high grounds. I like this one, but this one's not bad either. Obviously, with Hog, it's a little riskier sometimes. And occasionally, you know, maybe I'm over here doing something like there's a Widow. You can go right here and just you can rotate around. Like it's kind of like first point. You never want to be not moving. You can rotate around this high ground so nicely. Even right here, playing like down here for a second, you know, play behind these boxes and then you jump up here with Drill Dash. I wish Venture could jump that high. You jump up here with Drill Dash and they're like, oh crap, I can't get you, because people like to play poke characters on this map because it's just so. There's a lot of ways to play the map by not playing the map. You can just Widow, Mercy, Ashe, Sigma, barrel down main, and you never cap second point because you're in Havana. Um, so I think honestly that's probably about it for second point. You can play up here if you want, but I don't like it that much because you can drill dash over here. But this is such a long walk to get over here, which I think this area specifically is probably the best because you can get down here very easily, and you can get down here very easily, and depending on where that payload's at, that's where you want to be at. We lose this fight. Now, I'm sure the reason you're all here is third point. Let's take a look at it. This point is really bad. Really bad. Like, really bad. But there is 2 saving graces, which is this mega and tower down here. Playing down here it's doable, but it's not my favorite. Playing with deep burrow, you can head over here, and then that mini rotate. Playing around this area, like just this corridor right here, if you want to call it that, kind of this strip, I don't know, is a pretty good spot depending on their team comp. Not into CC. Playing down here into heavy CC comps, like more than one character, honestly. Like if they have Cass, Hog, Anna, someone else with CC, then you're not going to want to play down here. Playing down here is awful. Like you can get like CC'd really bad. And even if you really wanted to, you could play over here and like get them from behind. That only really works down this middle part here. And obviously it's depending on what you're doing, attacking or defending, which we'll look at attack too. There's a lot of places you can play on defense. I think defense is much better than attack because you have to close so much more distance. But you can see they push up, depending on their comp, they're going to want to push up like right here, which makes you want to flank because, you know, but look at how far apart their team is right now. You're not going to be able to flank that. Like, if I were to drill dash here right now and fight Torb, Hog, Soldier, and Anna all on me, and it's Torb. I don't want to fight Torb. His shotgun is insane. You don't want to engage prematurely ever on this map. I play this map pretty passive, and that's saying something because I feed my brains out at least 15 times a game. You don't want to do that on this map. This map is a death sentence. You engage incorrectly once and you will die. But I'm sure you know that. Exhibit A. So this is a hard spot to peel for. This big strip right here. Because your backline is going to want to be playing right here. But your team is going to either want to be Ideally, your team's going to want to hold here. This is the best spot for your team to hold because then you play up here. This is similar situation to first and second point. You just want to play this high ground. You don't really want to rotate out of it unless you see an opportunity. But playing up here is really good because you have such a good angle on these stairs. If they don't have mobility, like these stairs are basically unpushable with you on Venture until Roadhog and Cass come up these stairs. And then you're no longer Venture. But you can't really push up or peel. Or and peel, I mean. You have to do one or the other. You have to or. You have to push up or peel. And that kind of goes with everything, but specifically here in this spot, you don't want to push up, you know, obviously here it's fine because your team's here, but, you know, if you've only got, like, if you want to take an angle and, like, someone comes on your team, you're not going to be able to do anything about it because Venture had to use those cooldowns to get over here. It's so far away, you don't have the same type of presence you do normally because the map is so big. There's not nearly enough cover to be able to, what's the word? Kind of dominate like you do on some other maps where Venture's just in your face every fight. Like you can't get away from them. This map, it's not that. It's not like that at all. Where Venture is pretty much stuck to one or two places. But we push them into spawn. And our backline is playing a different game. So I push up here, and then I burrow up top here. Like I said, playing up here, you always want to do it. You always want to do it. Anytime you can. Because now look, I'm on this high ground, and their whole team's playing here. I can reach them. Now, I think Kiriko kills me here because... And then Hog's coming. But I'm actually the goat, so I don't even know.
10 seconds.
Like I said earlier, when they're up here, wait, where am I? I'm on that strip again. Those two places are really, it's like the whole map is the same. You never want to be down main, and you just want to rotate on these high grounds. It will save you so much. Now, let's say you're Cass, and then you walk over here, and I'm done for, and then I just rotate, but then you rotate down here, and Cass just used all of his cooldowns trying to get you over there. You just always want to be moving between the same good places. If you get caught in the middle, you're dead. Anywhere here, dead. Down here sucks. Down here, getting caught down here, in between the bridge sucks. That's why you have to use Burrow to close all that distance. It's very risky using Burrow to engage on this map, so you kind of want to play sneakier. You can't go in Burrow and disengage with Drill Dash like you can on some other maps. I mean, you could do it here, but then you're caught without cooldowns. And the places you have to play, it's very easy to get to them. So you never really want to totally without cooldowns.
Time.
Coming over here and catching them in spawn is also not always bad. Because look at how far away his team is. I mean, he's not going to get you. Hog's not hooking you all the way over here. It's just good to rotate around where they are to your good places. Your good places are your high grounds and down here. Like I said, don't play down here if there's CC. Bad. Not good. Negative SR. It's like, I used to think that this area was awesome, but then I kept feeding, and I was like, what's the problem? It was just, if you get caught down here, you just die. You have to play this area pretty smart. Up here, it's not as smart. You just gotta hold it. Like, if I was up there right now, I could be shooting these characters. Torb would kind of be menacing, but I think we win shortly.
Initiation.
I don't think we ever actually get to the castle, so I'll talk about it here. So, let's look at just defense here. If they're pushing into the castle, you only want to play up here and drill dash over here. Getting caught in the in-between areas will get you killed like every time. On every point in this map. It just sucks to be caught in the middle. But playing in these low grounds is also good sometimes, depending on their comp, obviously. Coming down here when there's high CC is pretty risky, but you can bait some cooldowns like that. Also, it's really just like using the space. Using the space for what it's for. Playing low ground for baiting CC and then rotating high ground if they don't really have any CC and you can kind of just engage based on the tempo of the map or the match and the team comp. That's always nice. But you never want to be in the in-between areas. It's the main takeaway. Never want to be in the main in-between areas. Rotate to the high grounds. Never get caught in the middle. That is the main takeaway from defending and attacking on this map. Playing down main, getting caught down main. You can't really play point on this map as well as you could on some other maps. Like Hollywood or... Which Hollywood you want to take the high grounds typically, but you can get away with playing point on a lot of other hybrid maps. Yeah.
Initiating match. Ready for battle.
Okay. Enough of that.
Stop
Pushing
the
into this
payload.
area right here, attacking is pretty much like you have to do it. You have two options. This time I opted for burrowing out of spawn to close this gap. I like doing that sometimes just in case there's like Ash Mercy or something. Burrowing to close this gap is nice. And then you head over here, you walk up here, you start poking from here. I don't really remember exactly what I did, but obviously I burrowed from here. So, the next one is drill dash out of spawn, walk over here, and then burrow. And you can burrow on top of the car and get up here with drill dash, which is nice because then you can drill dash back over here, peel for your team, yada yada yada. Attacking is rough. Yeah, so I just pushed up there with drill dash. That's suboptimal, but it's not the end of the world. You don't want to, like, if they were dive characters, for example, I would have been absolutely cooked there because I had no cooldowns. This was so bad, and I got away with it. I like playing Anna because you can kind of just kill her whenever you want. Anna's probably one of my favorite supports to play against for that reason alone. I think we still ended up losing here. But what I did there, coming up here and just seeing the lay of the land and what, based on what team comp they're playing, obviously, you're going to want to push over here. Playing over here is nice, but it's risky. Like what I did, and I died. Like you will die if you come over here at the wrong time. It will get you killed very frequently. So just stay up here. You don't need to make aggressive. If you want to play aggressive, like if you know you can kill something and it's worth killing it, like an Anna or a Brig or a Mercy pocketed Ash or something, or a Mercy, especially a Mercy. It's great to kill Mercy. probably the best kill in the game, then you want to play just up here. If you can't. If you can, come over here. It will selectively securing your eliminations over here is the pretty much only way to play first point. Sometimes you can get away with pushing cart, depending on their comp. I don't want to push cart into Maga because then this happens to you. Like insert venture over Anna or Anna. That'll happen to you depending on the tank, especially if they're hog. Like you don't want to play cart. You want to play the high ground. You can play up here too. Like if you really wanted to, you could drill dash up there and then burrow away. But oh yeah.
I can't die.
Enemy turret ahead.
I like pushing into this left room here too. It's nice, depending on where your card's at. Like, I don't want to push into the left room when we're pushing the card back there, because then the whole team comes to this door and I'm jumped. You want to play it when the card's like right there, because then your team's gonna want to be pushing through there too, and you can come out this door and, you know, there's a lot of ways you can utilize this room here, but you want to mainly be using this room when your card's past this first turn here. Because before that, you want to play this side up on the high ground, and you really just want to be on the high ground in general. I would think you could have both.
On the payload. Let's roll.
Punishing hit scans on that high ground is super fun and super easy value. I think I go for the Anna here again and I die, but like what I did that soldier there, just like it was so free. So free value. I come up here, I burrow, and then he probably thinks like, oh, this venture's about to one-shot combo me. One-shot combo's not bad. But so he runs away. And now we have the high ground. It's so easy to take the good spaces on this map because the good spaces are best for hit scans, but Venture claiming them, Venture's good enough on them to where you can kind of punish them. Yeah, my whole team went to on a dead room. And then I rotate in the middle. Do not do that. Do not do that. Do not do that. Do not do what I just did. When you're up here, do not think you can push out this way unless you have burrow. It gets you killed. It gets me killed all the time. Just coming out here without burrow. You don't want to. There's two types of spaces for Venture to play in. There's the middle, and there's good places. The good places are the high grounds, the low grounds with cover, you know, the tight rooms. The in-between is literally everywhere else. Like, when you're in the middle, and you never want to play in the middle without burrow, without being underground, because you will die. Like, you die every time if you get caught in the middle. And this is the super middle, like, Soldier and Torb right here, and there's literally no cover, and I have no cooldowns. You could argue maybe, yeah, if I get behind this wall, then Torb and Soldier, Torb will throw his turret at me, and then Soldier can just chase me. It could just be summarized as just don't get caught in the middle without cooldowns, but I think it's more important to make sure that you're closing the distance with burrow, waiting for it, or not even really waiting for it. If you're able to secure something with drill dash, you want to do that. But if not, then what was I saying? Probably wasn't important if I forgot. Oh, I remember now. If you don't have burrow, don't try and close these distances. But use burrow to close distance. Use drill dash to secure kills. Don't wait on burrow if you don't need what's the word I'm looking for? If you don't need backup, like if you think, let's say there was like a Kiri and an Ana down here, and I didn't have Burrow, it was like 5 seconds. I could poke at them, one or two shots, and then draw dash on them, or maybe even try and get out cooldowns. Like, I'm not saying never engage without having Burrow on this map, but for your safety, it's good if you want to do that. Because it's hard to get away with not having Burrow on this map.
Too quick. I won't either. Hiya!
And then we cap second point. I love attacking second point. You just take high ground so easily.
Coming through!
Yeah, like I said there. I didn't have Burrow. Or I did have Burrow, I just didn't feel the need to use it because the reason I dropped off of height here was because everyone is on height. Venture is a very selective assassin. So if everyone's on height, then there's no point in you being on height. You want to take low ground. You want to play around the enemy team. You don't want to play with the enemy team. So rotating down here, this back end, you know, and then I can poke here. Or I can engage with Burrow here, and then I'm in this room. Being caught in a room with Venture is like being caught in a room with Junkrat. It's very, very risky. But I actually go under. I had a round.
Whoopsie daisy!
Get on the Mega, and my team can log it, and I'm like, okay.
We're outnumbered! Let's try, Twinkle Toes! Let's try, Twinkle Toes!
Yeah, and just use any cover you can. It'll take a long time because you keep up rotating to cover. It's just useful.
Watch it! Enemy turret ahead! Ooh, give me! I'm on fire! Excavation initiation!
I don't know. Don't ask me. See, and then I come right down here because I know that their comp is not equipped to handle me. And I made her waste nade too. Head up to the high ground. Playing this side, just pushing him to the high ground. This high ground are good. A lot of the things I said on defense are gonna be applicable on attack too. Yeah, very risky for me to push out like that. See, now I'm caught in that in between. That is pretty much every death. Every death in the entire game on Venture, you're caught in the in between. It's very rare that I go in and engage and die unless I know I'm going to. It's being caught out in the middle like this. That will get you killed. So, and that's very easy to do on Havana. It's mostly middle space.
I am such a klutz!
And I'm just right back to it. It's kind of like a rhythm game. You just kind of rotate around. There's a place for you to not. Now, like I said, with them playing in Castle here, we do see a little bit of it, but I think we win completely. Coming around in these rooms behind is very easy, because with Deep Burrow, you can just, you know, go over here, and then you're here, and there's a Mega, which is always nice to have on your off angles. I mean, unsuspecting victims. They don't know what's coming. They have no idea what's coming. And I think I actually did. Yeah, my Genji was.
Area denied.
Yeah, and he decides to kill me. I remember talking about that.
Crypt and into the quicksand. Ah, gotcha!
Enemy turret ahead.
Now playing in the middle here
Payload is
doesn't really matter because I know where the whole team's at, right? I'm in the middle there, so it doesn't really matter that I'm in the middle because their whole team's on castle. Just using the space that you have. And it's very easy for Venture to take all of these spaces that I've mentioned because of the nature of Venture's kit. But using the space that you have is very important. And the problem is, I feel like most of the time, it's that a lot of Venture players don't feel like they have space. Because they have to close so much distance. So then it feels like, well, like, there's people there already, but, you know, like, you can force people out very easily on Venture. You can take space. Like, when you're playing Venture, you're more like a tank than you are a DPS, in my opinion. Which might be a bad take, but that's how I feel when I play Venture. It's very easy for you to throw people out of the spaces that you need. I mean, obviously, if Junkrat Reaper's up here, then, like, why would you push up there? Why would there be Junkrat Reaper up there? You're in gold, maybe? I don't know. And then, once again, I'm rotating behind Castle there. On that little strip, playing down there's good.
Try and stop me.
And me and Genji just tear up this backline. Like I said, I got very lucky this game. If I hadn't had the team that I did, you know, Genji, Venture, Wu Yang, Ana, Ball, this is an amazing team comp. Compared to this, whatever this is, like, we had a bit of an advantage. Look at how little damage I have. Also, I have less deaths than my Genji. It's very possible to play Havana. It's not as bad as people say it is. I think it's a pretty good map. In terms of consistency, unlike some maps, like, not my favorite Venture map in the game. But yeah, that was the Havana Venture map guide. Exhilarating. So, if you have any further questions, I think my Reddit's in my bio, maybe? Pretty sure it is. My DMs are always open. If you need, you know, help with anything in specific Venture related. This has been pretty informal, unscripted type content. So if I would like feedback on it, such as, you know, how you felt about it, just in general. Was it good? Was it bad? I'd like to do more scripted, more formal content, but I think these map guides are just kind of like, if I can get them out there for all of the Venture maps, all the Overwatch maps, then that'd be nice. And I feel like it doesn't need to be super formal. Like, I know how to play the map. Like, I don't need to write it all down. There's some stuff that I would definitely like to talk about. Like, I want to talk about all the, you know, I want to talk about all the new heroes and what I think, how they feel about Overwatch. I want to talk about, like, how I feel about other characters besides Venture, because, like, Venture's all I talk about, because Venture's the character of all time. So yeah, just thanks for watching, and I'd really appreciate some feedback on anything really, or any suggestions